Breaking news out of Paris today. It's a tragic video to watch. Look, you guys know how much I care about history. I love seeing the preservation of history. I hate seeing the destruction of history. And of course, today we see this fire out of Paris where the Notre Dame Cathedral is basically collapsing in on itself after this fire. The spire just fell. It's sad, and there's a lot of people celebrating it, and it's so ridiculous. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It's just dumb to celebrate this kind of stuff. But I wanted to go into something that's very odd about this story because YouTube has been doing some shady stuff lately, as we all know, regarding algorithm. And one of those things would be the fact that they have been putting in these little factoids below videos telling people what's fake news or what's not. And it's getting really over the top to the point where there's glitches happening. And we saw that today as this article from BuzzFeed, I know BuzzFeed, but as this article from BuzzFeed says, YouTube flagged the Notre Dame fire as fake news and then started showing people articles about 9/11. The widget showing information about the September 11th attacks appears to have been triggered by a new feature YouTube is testing to provide topical context around videos that might contain misinformation. And as this article goes into, as the Notre Dame Cathedral went up in flames on Monday, YouTube flagged live streams of the incident as fake news and then started showing people articles about the 9/11 attacks. The cause of the fire was not immediately known, but it broke out as the 12th century cathedral was undergoing a multi-million-dollar renovation project. Police in Paris also said no deaths were reported on site. And you see a screenshot, for example, from France 24 showing September 11th attacks. And I've seen this on videos because I've done 9/11 videos before. And it triggers the algo and this kind of stuff happens. Several news outlets quickly started live streaming the fire on YouTube. However, underneath several of them was a small gray panel titled September 11th Attacks, which contained a snippet from an Encyclopedia Britannica article about 9/11. The feature is part of a larger rollout of tools and disclaimers to prevent users from consuming misinformation on the platform. More images of it, for example, there. So ridiculous. If a user clicked the gray box, they would be taken to a full article about the American terror attack. BuzzFeed News found at least 3 live streams of the Notre Dame fire from major news outlets with the 9/11 disclaimer. And then the disclaimer was then removed one by one after several minutes. But by then, Twitter users had taken notice. And you can see here Twitter post by a guy named Joshua Benton. Why in the world is YouTube putting information about 9/11 but underneath the Notre Dame live stream? This guy says, I'm so glad we let tech platforms eat the journalism industry. Now I can sit and watch a live stream of Notre Dame burning while YouTube's fake news widget tells me about 9/11 for some reason. And then this guy, YouTube is suggesting viewers read about 9/11 during Notre Dame related streams for some reason. On a few different live streams of Notre Dame on YouTube, the site offers a totally unprompted, unrelated description of the September 11th attacks, this person says. It's unclear how the Notre Dame live stream triggered the panel, but a spokesperson for YouTube said the information panels with links to third-party sources like Encyclopedia Britannica and Wikipedia are activated by an algorithm. These panels are triggered algorithmically and our systems sometimes make the wrong call, the spokesperson added. We are disabling these panels for live streams related to the fire. According to a link inside the disclaimer, the information panel is a feature that is currently only available to users in the United States and South Korea. The help page adds that the panel will appear alongside videos related to the topic, regardless of opinions or perspectives in the footage. The moderation of YouTube live streams has been a problem for the platform. Last week during a congressional hearing on white nationalism and social media, YouTube's moderators had disabled comments on live streams of the hearing because the comments section became so racist. One stream of the hearing by Swedish white nationalists was even able to be monetized, with commenters using the super chat feature to donate money to the channel as it streams. So there's a bit more to this, though. I mean, consider the fact that it's quite obvious at this point that there's a lot of conditioning happening. I'm not going to point fingers regarding the Notre Dame Cathedral. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people celebrating. It's sick, and It's wrong to celebrate that kind of stuff. I don't celebrate any religious or a-religious iconic sites being burned to the ground. It's ridiculous. It's history, and it's important. And history gives us the insight into what we need to know for the future going forward. But I mean, with that said, there's conditioning. Like a lot of people are pushed into that divide and conquer perspective of false flag. Everything is either a false flag or everything's not a false flag, or it has to be black or white, and then you have people fighting over it with each other, which is really sad. So I think that is a huge problem that we see going forward. But again, with the YouTube algorithms kicking in, you see this a lot lately. It's like the news, which has absolutely no moral high ground, seriously, with the amount of fake nonsense they're pumping out on a regular basis, then sending us to Wikipedia. Like, what is the media historically used against people who have their own opinions? What, do you look that up on Wikipedia? What do you find that fake news on Wikipedia? You believe that? Well, now, like, the mainstream media is just like pumping Wikipedia and stuff into our heads, and government sponsored or funded encyclopedias. And Wikipedia isn't that easy to edit anymore. They've completely taken that over completely, and now it's completely controlled. You see that in so many topics when you look up certain issues that they don't even mention certain words that are heavily related to a certain topic or subject matter, which they don't want you to look into deeper. But with that said, you do videos, and YouTube is glitching out with the whole fake news thing so much that it's putting up 9/11 related stuff on the Notre Dame Cathedral fire. Does anyone else find this completely ridiculous? I do. I think it's gone to the point of no return. YouTube is shooting themselves in the foot. They're destroying creators, shadow banning everyone, making things as impossible for people to work as possible, which is why we have a subscribe to our page, by the way, for not safe for YouTube content that you guys can check in the link below. But again, when they unroll this kind of stuff, it's a slippery slope, and you end up having not just the misinformation, but keep in mind the mainstream media is the same one that's been pushing the Mueller probe, the same one that has been pushing anti-Russia rhetoric to the point where people have been supporting war, a nuclear war with Russia for years, as well as pushing nonsense with North Korea. And then at the same time, pushing divide and conquer, clashing us against each other so we're distracted from the real enemies, the state, the organized crime rackets, the banks, etc. And then meanwhile, they prosecute or persecute someone like Julian Assange, who has never been proven wrong in anything that he has released, classified or declassified on WikiLeaks. So why does anyone trust this entity anymore? And why do people put up with this? And even the mainstream media is looking at that and going like, that's kind of weird. I mean, when the mainstream media themselves are like, maybe our own tactics of propagandizing people and propagating people and indoctrinating people is too over the top that even we can't wrap our heads around it. It tells us a lot about the era we're living in and what we're heading into if we're not very, very careful about what we do next. This is getting so ridiculous, guys. So anyway, we will continue focusing on or looking into this Notre Dame fire. We don't know what's going on yet. There's no information. It's really sad. I hate to see, when I saw the spire go, I mean, think of it took them 100 years to build the place. It's it's like 900 years old. It's so sad to watch one of these buildings collapse. But anyway, we are on DTube and Steemit and BitTube and BitChute and Minds and everything you can imagine. We're looking at DLive and everything. So you can join us on a lot of other platforms. YouTube's going to demonetize, censor, shadow ban, make sure most of you don't see these videos. And then, of course, they're going to try and give you terrible, unreliable Wikipedia articles and shove them in your face and tell you if you question anything, you are somehow a denier, and throw those connotations at you. And I think we need to resist that at all freaking costs. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.
Like what you see here, WAM? Don't forget to check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon. We can't do it without you. Any donation is very much appreciated, especially as we are so heavily demonetized and censored by YouTube, as these guys come in and flag all of our content as hate speech. The shadow banning is getting really bad, guys. Also, check our Bitcoin address right here on the screen or in the description below. We really appreciate it. And of course, check us out at the Red Pill Expo 2019. Of course, the great G. Edward Griffin and so so many other incredible speakers will be there. Our link for that is below as well. And we cannot forget Mike Maloney's GoldSilver.com, which you can also find in the description. One of the greatest market and monetary historians out there. We really encourage everyone to check that out. But until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.
I'm sure you have already changed people's minds in your young age because you're involved, and I like that.
Thank you.